Good morning students. Welcome back in class of engineering chemistry. I am Asha Pawar working as assistant professor at SNJB's Let's Serve KBJ College of Engineering Chandwad Nasik. Student, in last session we learn graphene, their properties, application as well as structure. In today's session we are going to learn another topic of nanomaterial, that is the carbon nanotube. You know that it is one of the type of nanomaterial, and it is a one dimensional nanomaterial. It is always imagine that the nanotubes, it is in the tube form, it is in nanomaterial are imagined that it is a made up of from the graphene. That is, if we roll the graphene sheet like the paper, the cylinder is formed and it is closed at both the end by hemispherical fullerene or the graphite sheet cap. It is nothing but carbon nanotube. See, this is the structure, that is, it is imaginary structure. That is, if we roll the graphene, then formation of the sheet cylinder like the paper cylinder. So depending upon the layers present in the nanotube, it is having mainly two types, that is the single wall carbon nanotubes and multi wall carbon nanotubes. Then the single wall carbon nanotube are again divided into the three different types, that is zigzag, armchair and helical. In the single wall nanotube, the diameter of the single wall nanotube is approximately 1 nanometer. It is also known as a SWNT, that is single wall nanotube are wrapping with layer of graphite with one atom thick layer, that is a graphene. One atom thick layer means only single layer, into a seamless cylinder. It's require catalyst for their synthesis, less accumulation in the body. Second, that is multi-wall carbon nanotube. Multi-wall carbon nanotube consists of multiple rolled layer or concentric tube of graphite. See, within a one layer, another layer, again in one layer, second layer, another third layer. Such a concentric tubes of graphene or graphites are there. It has a very complex structure. It can be produced without catalyst. Purity of the product is high and more chances for accumulation in the body. So the multi-wall carbon nanotube is only one type. It is has no further type, but the single wall carbon nanotube are these three types. See, armchair, zigzag and chiral, or it is known as a helical. It is a twisted looking structure. In a carbon or helical carbon nanotube, the structure is twisted like. That's why it is not a mirror images to each other. Original structure is not a mirror image to its mirror structure. That's why it is a chiral. But armchair and zigzag are achiral in nature. The arrangement of carbon atoms or a hexagonal ring is a different. See, in armchair, zigzag and in chiral. See, this is a twisted structure. This arrangement of hexagon is a different. It is a twisted, but here the arrangement of hexagon is straight. That's why the armchair carbon nanotube are metallic. It is a semiconductor, that is what zigzag are the semiconductor, and this helical carbon nanotube are also semiconductor. Generally graphene or graphite is a good conductor, but carbon nanotube are what? Semiconductor. Due to this 2pz orbital, means one of the free electron present in 2pz orbital, it is again twisted. That's why it is a semiconductor in nature. So synthesis of carbon nanotube can be done in the laboratory by using these three different method. Only name included in your syllabus, that is arc discharge method, by using laser, that is laser ablation method, and by using various chemical like the hexane, benzene, natural gas, etc. That is a chemical vapor deposition method. And that method used to develop or produce the nanotube in sizable quantity, and along with nanotubes sometime may be the formation of fullerene also. It is one of the allotrope of carbon na, that is also be formed, and depending upon the size they can be separate. So the last point in the carbon nanotube, that is applications. Nanotubes are recently used in the various fields, so it hold the novel devices such as a carbon based single electron transistor, means the special type of transistor can be used that be made up of on the basis of carbon nanotube, that significantly smaller than conventional transistor. That is, the carbon nanotube used for making the transistor, the size of the transistor is a small. So next application, nanotube can always provide excellent strain to weight ratio, and it create the potential to build an elevator to space. See, this is the elevator because it can be used to making the elevator. Carbon nanotube can be used to make the elevator because it can provide what? Excellent strain to weight ratio, and due to that potential is develop, and that is easy to build an elevator to space. Then next important application, that is carbon nanomaterial can be used in the drug delivery system. Carbon nanotubes for cancer treatment, carbon nanotube used for the cardiac autonomic regulation, that is in the medical field. Carbon nanotubes used for the platelet activation, again the application in medical field. Carbon nanotube can be used for the tissue generation. Carbon nanotube used in drug delivery. So these are all the medical field application of carbon nanotubes. So the most important, again, it can be used for the filtration, for the body part implant. Carbon nanotube can also be used for the catalyst, etc. So thank you.